by now, right? 2 Peter chapter 1. This is what it says. And beside this. Now what's the this? And beside what? He was talking about your salvation. How many have been born again? Wave at me. 3 of us? Born again! All right? This is what he was saying here. Besides this, besides being born again, he said, giving all diligence. How many have ever played sports?
Oh, yeah.
What? You played sports. Has someone ever said to you, give it all you got? No. God says, besides this, your salvation, give it all you got. He says, as to your salvation, more excellence. No, he didn't. He said, besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith. How many have you seen a 20-year-old baby sucking on a bottle? A baby's bottle. Okay. It's not a pretty sight, is it? You'd say that person, something's wrong with it. Well, if you are born again and you're not adding to your faith, something's wrong. Hello? Listen, you gotta love me to get to heaven. So he says, add to your faith virtue. What's virtue?
Purity.
Moral excellence, one translation says. So God says, now you've got some faith. Now that you're starting to trust me, clean up your life. Ooh. Don't get too quiet on me now. This is growing from babyhood from eating the milk all the time to now you can have a bologna sandwich. Are you still with me? Okay, now you're with me, I can tell. Well, listen to what he says next. Come on, hey, listen to what he says next. He says, now add to your moral excellence, knowledge. Knowledge of whom? Knowledge of whom? Knowledge of God. This type of knowledge just keeps on expanding. Because the way you get this knowledge is by coming to youth group time meetings. You come to church. You come to where there is fellowship and people are talking about Jesus. Do you talk about Jesus? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody talks about Jesus?
Yes.
Oh, you do? See, this is what you do when you become a Christian. I need your attention, or I just love attention. I really do. So I need your attention. And I'm going to let the young lady hide that mirror, because it keeps flashing lights in my eyes. And I know she's trying to blind me. She's trying to blind me so I can't read. But if I can't read, I'm going to bring one of you up here to read for me. But he says, add to knowledge, temperance. What's temperance?
Patience.
Glad you asked. I've got an answer for you.
Patience.
No, it's not patience. What is temperance? Self-control. Hey, let me tell you a story. A man went to speak at an assembly in a school. And as he was in the school, and he was waiting in his car, some teenagers came by. And you could tell one was the head turkey. He did all the talking. And he said, hey, Johnny! Johnny said, yeah, man. He said, let's skip school. Johnny said, nah. And the boy says, come on, Johnny, let's skip school. Johnny says, okay, let's skip school. And then, one after the other, all decided to skip school except one. He went into the school, and the rest came barreling across that parking lot, and the speaker was sitting in the car that was going to have the assembly. And he waited till they got all the way across that parking lot, and he yelled out, "I'm going to squeal on you!"
What's squeal mean?
Cattle.
What is squeal? Those guys came barreling back across that parking lot, and they looked at him and they said, "We'll tear that car apart part by part."
Oh, God.
And the speaker says, "And you will put it together part by part." He says, "Who are you anyway?" And the speaker says, "I'm Santa Claus in disguise." And he says, "Guys, I'm having an assembly in this school today, and I want you there." When he came into the assembly, guess who was in the front row?
Santa Claus.
They didn't skip school. You see, sometimes you have to be reminded to do that which is right. And that is called self-control. And if you are a Christian, God gives you the power to do what's right. Now he says, add to your self-control or your temperance, patience. What is patience?
Something really hard to
Well, because the speaker gets through, I'm just going to have enough patience. So if he gets done talking, then I'm out of here. Right? No, that's not the patience he's talking about. He says the patience that you need is to stay a Christian. I have given you patience to stay on the road that I've called you to. That's patience, friends. And then he goes on from patience, and you know what he says? You with me still? Say, Dickie, I'm still with you.
We're still with you.
He says, add to your patience godliness. Now, what's godliness?
Holiness. Purity.
You're asking the right questions. Come on. What is godliness?
To act more like God.
To be like God. He wants you to be like Him. Now, let's see. One of the young girls was showing me a metal frame thing out there this evening, and I think it's called a cookie cutter.
Oh, cookie cutting, yeah.
Do you know that you're supposed to be, when you become a Christian, a cookie cutter? You're supposed to look, and you're supposed to act like Jesus. Awesome. How do I get there? It's one day at a time. It's little by little, and day by day, that you're going to grow in God. Well, let's put the caboose on here somewhere. He says, after godliness, you've got to add to your godliness. You see, being a Christian is what I can do. It's not what you can't do. You with me? Come on. I told her I love attention. So we say right here, add to your godliness brotherly kindness.